DC Director Bettina Hager, who are here, Linda Coberly, who heads our legal task force, which we really need now. Thank you, Linda. And also, I want to mention great state legislators, Pat Smearin of Nevada, Juliana Stratton, and Steve Anderson of Illinois. Steve is with us today. Thank you for coming in. Republican. And Senator Jennifer McClellan and Delegate Jennifer Carol Foy of Virginia. I know Congresswoman Wexton is representing the state of Virginia for us today. I do want to mention some of our colleagues. I have standing behind me. I have to turn around to look at you. This is Ellie Smeal. If you don't know who this woman is, of the feminist press, and what I love doing the circuit with Ellie is that she will pound her hand and say, we've been doing this for 100, and she's been doing it for 50 years. No exaggeration. Ellie, thank you so much, and Alice Cohen is here too from the feminist majority. Our partner Tony Van Pelt of Now, Kate Kelly. Tony Van Pelt, let's get to her. Kate Kelly of Equality Now. Everybody is here. Everybody turns around and sees their friend. Alejandra Castillo of the YWCA. Donna Lentz of the National Women's Political Party. Are you here? Katie Horning and Eileen Davis. Eileen, where are you? Okay. Eileen Davis. Katie Horning, all right, of VA Ratify ERA. And I cannot mention everybody, but certainly partners that we've been working on this. Fatima Goss-Graves of the Women's Law Center. Thank you so much for being with us today. The Equal Rights Amendment was a good idea when Alice Paul first introduced it in Congress in 1923. It was a good idea when Congress passed it in 1972. And it is a great idea in 2020 now that we have met all of the requirements. Thank you so much.
As we call Senator Cardin and welcome him back to the House side, Senator Cardin of Maryland, whom we all had the honor of serving with, not all of us, but some of us. I do want to acknowledge some of our other House members who are here. Lois Frankel, a leader on everything that relates to women in the Congress. Susan Davis of California, Debbie Wasserman Schultz of Florida, Alma Adams of North Carolina, and Congresswoman Spanberger, Abigail Spanberger, who was with us for a while. I know that her mom is in the front row. Congratulations on your wonderful daughter. Wonderful that you're here. Thank you. And now, on behalf of all of us in the House, I'm pleased to yield to the distinguished senator from Maryland in the House, in the Senate, a champion. Thank you.
Well, Speaker Pelosi, first, thank you, Speaker Pelosi, for your extraordinary leadership here in the House of Representatives on behalf of our nation. We are very, very proud. I want to congratulate our partners on the Equal Rights Amendment, Congresswoman Spear and Maloney, and the whole group that has worked here in the House of Representatives. Congressman Hoyer and I were just reminiscing that we were in the state legislature when Maryland ratified the Equal Rights Amendment.
Wow.
So that was a long time ago. Thank you for reminding me, Congressman Hoyer, how long ago that was. But at that time, I don't think any of us thought it would take this long. But now one of the major obstacles has been removed, and that is the 38th state has, in fact, ratified the Equal Rights Amendment. We got one more obstacle to overcome for Congress to remove the deadline. After the House action, we need Leader McConnell to bring this to the floor of the United States Senate because we had the votes to pass the resolution to remove the time limit on the Equal Rights Amendment. We just need to have a vote on the floor of the House of Representatives. It's bipartisan, always has been. Equality has always been bipartisan. I want to thank Lisa Murkowski, our champion on the Republican side of the aisle, Susan Collins and others who have worked very hard to get the necessary votes. But I just really want to underscore the people in this room. when you stated that most Americans believe that our Constitution contains the Equal Rights Amendment, you're right. Because there hasn't been a Constitution written since the end of World War II in a democratic state that does not include an Equal Rights Amendment. It's time that the United States, the leading democratic state in the world, put in its Constitution the Equal Rights Amendment. Now is the time. This is the year. We're going to get it done. I'm proud to be on this team. Thank you for welcoming me back. Now, my buddy, the Majority Leader of the House of Representatives, the former President of the Senate of the Maryland State Legislature,
Yay.
Congressman Hoyer.
And wearing an ERA button.
Thank you, former Speaker of the Maryland House of Delegates, Ben Cardin. It's never too late to do the right thing. About 60 days after the House and Congress passed the ERA, Maryland voted to ratify the ERA. I had been in the state Senate for 5 years at that point in time, and I could not understand why women were not equal under our Constitution as it read. And how sad it was that the consciousness of our founders, which was extraordinarily high for their time, extraordinary, but they didn't say, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all humankind are created equal. It is time to act. It is far past time to act. As I say, Maryland, 48 years ago, overwhelmingly said, all of us are equal. I'm the father of 3 daughters, the grandfather of 2 granddaughters, and the great-grandfather of 3 great-granddaughters. They thank you. They thank you for all you have done to make sure when, Jackie, they walk down those steps. Now, I probably disagree with you a little bit. I don't think anybody in America or any of us think when Nancy walks down those stairs, somehow she becomes unequal. And I will tell you who doesn't think that either, the President of the United States. Tomorrow the House will pass a resolution to remove the arbitrary deadline of ratification for the Equal Rights Amendment. There should not be any time limit for doing the right thing. Doing so will provide more clarity that the ERA should become the 28th Amendment. It's long overdue, but as I said, never too late. In 2020, a woman still earns, on average, 82 cents to a man's dollar. That's a good day. That gap widens for women of color. Many women in the workforce are at risk of being placed on leave or being forced out of their jobs if they become pregnant. I don't, maybe doubly so if they become double pregnant. And many Republican-controlled state legislators are enacting laws that threaten reproductive rights or take away women's access to health care. These are forms of discrimination that testify to why we need the ERA in the Constitution, as so many have said here. I've been proud to support the ERA from 1972 to this very day. Usually I get things done a little quicker. But with this powerful group behind me, and I'm behind you, let me place it properly, because your work has been extraordinary. Eleanor Smeal, thank you so much for your keeping the faith through the decades that you have been such a great leader in our country. This, as I said earlier, should have been in our Constitution from the very beginning. Civil rights is an effort of raising consciousness, of awareness, of understanding what equality means, real equality. I want to thank Representative Speer and Chairwoman Maloney for making this a priority and ensuring that the House does its job. I think this, She's off making policy. In 2015, Nancy and I were in Selma, Alabama. And Barack Obama gave a speech sitting there with George W. Bush and the great, extraordinary John Lewis. And Obama gave one of his best speeches. The president said, the strength of America is that we are, in fact, always working towards a more perfect union. Tomorrow's vote will be another step towards a more perfect and inclusive union. It's a great day for America.
This is a great day. A woman's right must be guaranteed by our government. This is simply not up for debate. Even though we've come so far, it's long past the time to correct this injustice and recognize the equality of women under law. Just for the record, if you've been educated in America, if you have been touched by a woman, if the fact that you're alive, you have had the compassion, the strength, and the endurance and patience of a woman. If you have become ill, you have had a woman sitting by your bedside or in your nursing home touched by a woman. When you eat your food, majority of the people who serve you are women. These are just some of the things. Now, I can go down the list where these women who show up every day to take care of this great country are being treated differently as a second-class citizens when it comes to our pay, when it comes to our rights. And we are celebrating only 100th year that we received the right to vote. I am here today excited that we have finally come to the table. And the one thing that the women who've led this effort, pregnant, those who have sat on the battlefield for 50 years, for my chairwoman, Maloney, and for my co-chair of the Women's Caucus, Ms. Spears, is that we don't give up. And for every woman, and for this young lady here, we cannot give up. We will continue to fight. We will continue to be the mothers of this country. We will continue to lead, and we will pass ERA because we deserve it. This country deserves it. And when we do this, this will take care of one of the things that we've had to fix for so many years to continue to make sure that this country is one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, and that includes women as well. Thank you so much. I would like to bring forth the woman that's bringing us so much excitement from her state, Rep. Wexton.
Virginia.
Do we have any Virginians? Do we have any Virginians in the house? Woohoo! All right. Well, my name is Jennifer Wexton, and before I came to Congress, I served in the Virginia State Senate, and I had the great honor of carrying the ERA resolution in my time as a Virginia State Senator. Now, most of you are probably familiar with the Virginia State Seal, the Great Seal of the Commonwealth of Virginia. You see it on our flag. It depicts the goddess Virtue and the vanquished tyrant. But what you probably don't know is that there's a reverse side to that seal. And that reverse side features 3 goddesses and the word perseverando, persevering. And that seems especially fitting today. I remember carrying the ERA in 2016, and that's just like the blink of an eye in terms of the time that all of these advocates have been working on this issue. But in 2016 in the Virginia State Senate, it passed the Senate with broad bipartisan support, and we couldn't even get a vote on it in the House of Delegates. But Virginia women persevered. In the past few years, our Commonwealth has changed quite a bit for the better. It became more diverse and more women were elected to the General Assembly and to the House of Representatives, if I do say so myself. I'm sorry, my Virginia colleague, Spanberger, who's also been working on this issue for many years, I'm sorry she had to leave. But you better believe that we don't believe it's unnecessary that women's equality be included in the United States Constitution. So after Nevada and Illinois ratified the ERA, it all came down to Virginia. And we saw a surge of enthusiasm, busloads of women and men coming to Richmond to demand that equal justice of law be a constitutional right for women, not just an inscription above the entrance to the Supreme Court. And just a couple weeks ago, with an historic number of women lawmakers serving the state legislature, the great Commonwealth of Virginia persevered to become the 38th and final state to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment. And I want to thank Speaker Pelosi, Representatives Maloney and Spear, and all of the advocates for persevering, because there should not be a deadline on equality. Thank you.
And Virginia helped to give us the majority with Elaine Luria, Abigail Spanberger, and of course, Congresswoman Wexton. Thank you for your leadership in the legislature and here, but that majority enables us to bring this legislation to the floor. I too want to say that inside maneuvering can go so far, the outside mobilization is absolutely essential to our success. So thank you to all of you for what you are doing, and for and again to you, I want to say a special thanks to Feminist Majority and Peg Yorkin, who just made this such a focus. So thank you very much, and thank Peg as well. And so as we go forward, tomorrow will be a great day for America. I hope that we have the strongest possible bipartisan vote in the House to take it over to the Senate. It's going to be, again, a more perfect union, as Mr. Hoyer said, of again reinforcing what we believe, that when women succeed, America succeeds. Thank you all very much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. We should have quoted you. Very good.
Anybody want water? Mom. Oh, by the way, in addition to the beautiful list, the Congresswoman list, if you are sick and someone's there, if you are hungry, whatever it is, if you are a person, if you are born, you have been touched by a woman. I say that as a mother of 5, so I'm going to just put the role of mother in there as well. Congratulations to you and good luck. April, the end of April?
End of April. Yeah. Congratulations.
But to the future.
To the future. Thank you, Nancy. Would not have happened without you. Thank you so much.